right, hi Faith Formation families. I interrupt your summer vacation to bring you at long last the brochure for the 2023-24 Faith Formation Sacramental Preparation academic year. I apologize that it's so late. A lot of moving parts, a lot of things that have had to change, rearrange, move around. I do my best to make sure you have the most accurate idea of what the year is going to look like, and I didn't want to give you anything that I thought might drastically change over the summer, but I think I have it pretty well set for what we're going to have staffing wise and as close to accurate as possible. There may be a few changes between now and September, but I think class wise, as far as actual class nights and when we're going to have them, I think those are pretty set. I don't foresee any changes in those. The only things that might change pertain more to the community events and where they might be held as we get closer to things. You know how that goes. But that's where the weekly newsletter comes in. That's why I always make sure this is a guide, but the weekly newsletter is going to be your most up-to-date information as we go through the Faith Formation year. Okay? So I'm just going to give you a brief overview in this video for my audio learners. The rest of you, feel free. You'll notice below there's a digital flip book. If you click on that link, it should open for you and you should be able to flip through the entire brochure. That might be a lot of information overload. It depends on how many students you have involved in all the different programs, because it includes the Faith Formation classes, the sacramental preparation. I have Children's Liturgy of the Word, family masses, community events, and altar server trainings. All of that is in this brochure. But then you'll notice if you scroll down below, I broke them out by schedule. So if you just want to print out the schedules that pertain just to what you need, that's below. But if you wanted to flip through the entire thing to see what you're going to need first, that's where the flip book comes in. If for some reason that doesn't open for you, and it might not depending on your computer, depending on what programs you have, I'm kind of new to Flipbook. I know it's an old school app, I just haven't gotten around to it. But I just started using that, so if you run into any issues, just let us know. The first thing you're going to notice is that well, maybe you won't notice, but I'm going to point it out to you. We have a new email. So our new email is brff@dor.org. It stands for Brighton Regional Faith Formation. At DOR stands for Diocese of Rochester.org. The reason we're using that, so many of you know and have said, in all my videos, they say, oh, just email me. Miss Abdallah gets like 5,000 emails a week. I wish I was exaggerating. Sometimes it's like, oh, well, maybe not 5,000, but it's close to 1,000 a week. A lot of the times, if I've already answered those emails in the newsletter or in something I've already sent out, I probably won't answer your email. And it's not that I'm being mean, it's that I scroll through ones that I know that I haven't covered and I answer those first, but then the next 100 come in, and so sometimes your stuff gets buried. A way to avoid that, Dawn, our administrative assistant for Faith Formation, has created this email link, and what it's going to do is sort those by things that can be answered with a copy paste from the newsletter, those that are really truly things that I only can answer, things that only Nora can answer, things that she can answer. That's where the sorting of emails is going to go, so that you can get a faster answer. Chasing me sometimes is like chasing a firefly, and I get that, and I totally hear you. And it's not intentional, it's just the way ministry works. And as you know, I get pulled into a lot of things. Sometimes have everything to do with Faith Formation, sometimes don't have anything to do with Faith Formation. But we want to make sure that you're getting what you need. And I over-communicate often, hoping that people can just find what they need, even if they can't talk to me. So this is just one more way to try to make sure there's overlap so that you get the information you need. So you'll start seeing that email pop up a lot. You might even get emails from that email, brff@dor. So just be aware of that. It's us. It's who we are now communicating through. But you can still email us directly if there's things you absolutely know, only I know, or only Nora can handle. That's fine. But this is, if you are like, I don't know who can answer this, I don't know if it's already been answered, that's where you want to send this stuff, okay, to get you the highest chance of getting a reply in a timely fashion. Okay, all right. Obviously, when you open up the book, you're going to see the safety and resource information. All of that is the same. The only thing that might be new, and I have it highlighted there, is the attendance policy, and I'm going to explain that shortly. Starting with K through 5. So K through 5 is still going to be on Monday nights. That seems to be the best night. Highest attendance of any of the years that I've done. Monday seems to be the sweet spot. From beginning to end of the year. So we're going to keep it on Monday nights, 6 to 7:15, still at Queen of Peace. In-person learning offered for K through 5. And then if they can't make in-person learning on Monday night, this is where it's new, okay? Tuesday night, I'm offering a Zoom class for all of K through 5. So we're not doing it by grade anymore, like specific grade. It's K through 5 general. Okay, last year I had about 27 kids on Zoom, and it dwindled as the year went on. So I kind of anticipate that maybe the use of Zoom is really more about catching people that are in a bind that can't come on Monday night, or have other commitments, or were sick, or something happened, and that's fine. I think continuing to use Zoom in that fashion is perfectly fine for me. I enjoy teaching on Zoom, so it doesn't bother me. I love the convenience that it offers families, and so as a director, I don't mind continuing that. But what we'll do is Tuesday night is a K through 5. Anybody that wants to learn on Zoom that's in K through 5 will have a class that night, 6 to 7. Probably won't go a full hour. Zoom doesn't tend to go a full hour. We try to keep it around 40 minutes, 45 minutes, and maybe not even that long. If all the kids look like they're really beat, I wrap it up sooner. As families that are on my Zoom classes know, I'm pretty sensitive to looking at who's engaged and who's not. So if they can come in person on Monday, great. If they can't, they can always come on the Zoom. And that means they don't even have to have their book. So like if they just can't make it Monday night, they're sick or otherwise, come join us on Zoom on Tuesday. If Tuesday doesn't work, then you'll have the homework option. The homework lessons will be scanned into the weekly newsletter. And again, they won't necessarily need their book at home. There'll be an article, a video, something that I have scanned in, like through Flipbook, which is what I'm working on now, that they'll be able to read, answer the questions in Google Forms, submit the answers, and that counts as their attendance, okay? So in-person counts for attendance. If they attend a Zoom, it counts for attendance. If they send in a homework, it counts for attendance. So there's 3 ways they can get faith formation in for K through 5, regardless of what's going on for them. Because I know it's hard. I know you're juggling a lot, families. So these are 3 ways they can get that in, that lesson for that week. And you don't necessarily have to worry about coming in and getting a book, bringing it home, forgetting the book. All of that is gone. I'm putting everything on the newsletter, so we don't have to worry about that anymore, okay? So that's Monday. Tuesday is the Zoom. Grades 6 and 7, we are still going to do the Sunday night model. We went back and forth on this for a long time. We weren't quite sure how we were going to do this. 6 and 7, and then year 1 and year 2 confirmation, all on Sunday night. Just like we did last year. The difference is Miss Nora is not going to be taking over confirmation as we had originally thought. She is going to be working with youth group and young adult ministry and pastoral associate work, which is a lot. So she's going to be more focused on that stuff. I'm going to continue to keep confirmation going and doing that. So Sunday night will look the same structurally, but Nora will join us when she can, and if she can't, that's fine, and all that good stuff. So that's just a slight difference because there's not enough of us to go around to do everything that needs to be done. So it doesn't mean she's not ever going to be there. It just means it's going to be different this year in terms of staffing, but program-wise, doing that activity in the beginning, breaking out for class, coming back for snack, doing the final prayer and dismissal, all of that is going to be the same. We had dabbled with maybe trying a new model, but I don't think this is the year to do that. I think we're going to kind of steady the ship. There's lots of programs around us that are all switching models. I think we're going to just kind of stay steady and see what happens this year with them and see how they do. And if it works for them, then maybe we'll think about it. So for us, we're just going to keep that as is. Okay, so that's reflected in the schedules. Now, youth ministry schedule's not in this brochure. Nora will come up with that schedule and send it out to you from where she's at, but you can register for youth group through the online registration. So even though I don't have the schedule included here, that's going to come from her. If you're interested in youth group, you can sign your child up for that, and go from there through the registration. Okay. All right. So confirmation, like I said, the schedules are there. Year 1 and year 2. So in the past, we called it grade 8 and 9. I know that year 1 people are not necessarily grade 8. Year 2 is not necessarily grade 9. Wherever you're at in that process, okay, it's a 2-year process for confirmation. I know, but you have to go through 1 academic year for year 1 and 1 full academic year for year 2. Wherever you're at, you land in year 1 if you haven't done any yet, year 2 if you've already got year 1 under your belt. So if you have questions about that, send us an email at that email and we'll figure it out for you and let you know where you need to go. If your child is past 9th grade but hasn't quite graduated high school yet, let's talk, because we might have some intensive options. It's called intensive confirmation programming that we can maybe figure out for them before they graduate. So if that pertains to you, families, or you know someone it does, please talk to me and we will figure that out. Okay? Requirements for confirmation. Remember, if you are not in Catholic school, you need to come to the weekly classes, or bi-weekly as it is, because remember, you have to do 10 classes, 10 2-hour program classes is what it amounts to by the time we're done. And then your immediate preparation. So if you're not in Catholic school, you have to do the Sunday night classes and the immediate preparation to be able to make your confirmation. If you're already in Catholic school, your faith formation classes are included in your academic curriculum, so you only need to do the immediate prep, which is the retreats, the paperwork, the interviews and stuff for confirmation. Anything that says immediate preparation, now you're welcome to join us for anything. I never turn anybody away, but your requirements are just to join us for the retreats, the paperwork, sponsor stuff, and you'll know what that is because I will send that to you. So when you register, just state that you're in Catholic school, you're doing immediate prep, and that's it. Okay? First Reconciliation and First Eucharist, slightly different there. So First Reconciliation Camp and, well, actually it's not different. I mean, if you're in Catholic school or whether in faith formation, you all need to do these camps, okay? So you do have to be doing either faith formation or be in Catholic school in grade 2 or above, have to already be baptized, and you begin the process. You do, in this diocese, have to do your First Reconciliation prior to having your First Communion. I don't know, this I guess changed in 1980, but I still have people that are every year so confused as to when we changed this rule, but it's been a really long time, so I don't know why. It changed in 1980. You have to have First Reconciliation, and then you do First Eucharist. So if your child hasn't had First Reconciliation, they're not going to be able to show up in April and join the First Eucharist camp. They're not. So get ahead of this. I go to open houses too at Seton. I'll be there for questions early in the year. Make sure people know this. Don't come to me in April and be mad at me because your child can't make their First Eucharist. They have to have First Reconciliation first, okay? I work with you. I bend as much as I can, but I can't change those things. Those are big, okay? That's the bishop's job. I don't have any authority over what he does, right? So you will see the family community events calendar. That's open to anybody that's in faith formation. And you can even bring friends to that. We have no problem with that. The only thing is, if you're bringing people, you're responsible for if they have allergies. Any of these things on here are not a drop-off event unless I say it's a drop-off event. And what that means is you can't just drop your kids off and go shopping, because if there's food there, I have way too many kids with allergies and I don't have enough staff to watch who's eating what. So that's a safety issue for your family, okay? So if you're bringing them to an event that has food, I ask that you families monitor that. I'm always transparent about that because I don't want them to get something ingested that they shouldn't have. I try really hard to have nut-free and gluten-free items available. We try not to have nuts anywhere at all, period. Gluten is harder because there's so many people that eat bread, right? But if you know your child can or can't have something, it's just obviously going to be, I can't manage that. So you're going to need to be there to do that. It's also the other piece of that is that I need to make sure that whoever's coming with them monitors who's transporting them. For Faith Formation Night, we do a sign in and sign out. We have the cameras in certain angles to videotape who's bringing them in and out. I know you might not know that. That's part of our security plan. For these community events, cameras may or may not be there for pickup and all of that stuff. So that's why I say these are not drop-off events. I want your children to be safe. I want them to be where they're supposed to be, eating what they're supposed to have, and that's important to me, and I want to make sure that you know that I'm not assuming that responsibility with these things. So you will see the disclaimer at the bottom, and that's what that means. It just is a reminder. The events that are going to be drop-off events, though, I will let you know. So things that are going to be in that model that we normally have where all the security cameras are and we can do a sign in and sign out, and there's no food being offered, I will let you know. Okay. All right. And then there's the plan for the next year's Vacation Bible Camp. We haven't even yet had this one, but I'm already planning the next one. New this year, well, not new in general, but new since the pandemic, we're bringing back Children's Liturgy of the Word and the Family Mass schedule. We're going to branch that out a little more this year. I am looking still for more volunteers. I'd like to see more volunteers from St. Anne and Lourdes as well, so that we can, right now I have that on every other month at each place. I would love to have it at both places each month, but I'm going to base that on volunteers that I get. So if you're interested, families, please let me know. Let's start working on that. So if you see that they have less, it's only because I'm working with the volunteers I have, but I am absolutely willing to expand that. All right, so come see me if you want to be involved in that. I just can't be at 4 masses at once. I've tried. I do it as well as I can, but I won't be able to be there at the same time for all 4 of them. So that's where I need help. So if you're willing to volunteer, I'd love to have you. So email me directly. You can email me if you want to be a Children's Liturgy of the Word catechist, okay? Family masses, of course, we did that this year. It worked out really well. We're going to continue that flow. The last page is altar server training and picnic schedule. I am also trying to advance our altar server trainings. We're going to include altar server picnics. We have one coming up now for our existing servers and our new servers coming on. That's on August 19th. I'm going to contact families directly that have decided to do that. If your child is interested in altar serving and they've already made their first Eucharist and they'd like to be a part of that altar server picnic, email us as well so that we can get you on the schedule to have your child shadow one of the other altar servers during the month of July, and that would be great, and we'll get them going on that. But you'll see there's a bunch of meetings and things, and also another Christmas party in December. We're going to try to take everybody to the Strong Museum of Play, and you'll see where the Strong Museum of Play is at with their expansion and construction, but if it's available, we're going to try to do that. Okay? And again, all that information is in there. So that's the whole brochure. So I apologize that this video was 20 minutes long, but for my audio learners, that gives you a chance to get an overview of what's in there. I think it's going to be a really great year. We're going to do the best we can to muddle through. And I just want you to know that as I alluded, many of the parishes around us are trying different models. We have a really strong program right now, thank God. We have a lot of really dedicated, phenomenal catechists that have just been so super dedicated and put a lot of time and love and effort into what they do. They have certainly supported me throughout the pandemic and have just amazed me over and over again with what they're willing to do and to help with. And you know, it's so important to them that your children have the faith and really can grow in their relationship with God and with Jesus. And you know, we really try so hard to not that holding on to traditional model is the goal, but it is nice to have that classroom learning and for as long as we can. And that is what, when we surveyed families, that they said that they wanted. And I don't mind sharing with you that a lot of places are giving that up. They don't have enough volunteers, they don't have enough space, they don't have a lot of the things they need. We are really blessed and fortunate to have that, and you have my word that I will continue to try to do that for as long as we have volunteers, for as long as we can safely do that. So I'm just really grateful. I'm not at all taking that for granted. So I hope that you understand their commitment to and appreciate them as much as I do. Super grateful for that. And if you know someone that would like to be involved, would like to shadow a catechist, maybe you're discerning a call to teach, it's a great opportunity. It's wonderful, especially if you have children already in the program, you're already there hanging out. It's really nice, you know. Think about it over the summer, let me know. There's lots of ways to get involved that don't require teaching. I certainly need people to watch the hallways and help us with our security measures that we do, food preparation for the picnics, helping with children's liturgy of the word. If any of that appeals to you, listen to what God's calling you, and if you feel that little nudge, we'll help you to go the extra way and figure that out for you, okay? Or help you to figure that out for yourself, I should say. But let us know. It's working. Let us know. We're not all computer techie, but we're certainly learning. But if you do run into issues, let us know and we'll try to fix that for you. But overall, I think it should work. Knock on wood. Take care, everyone. God bless. We'll see you soon.